Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream tonight. Special episode of the Jesse Hughes Show. Um, I was not planning on bringing the show back until sometime later in August, but special circumstances require a special response sometimes. We are living in the midst of a very interesting time in American political history. We are living in, for our modern era, unprecedented times. We have seen a president arrested, a former president, my bad, arrested, convicted, slandered, lied about, brought through the ringer, and tonight we saw him almost assassinated. Now it needs to be clear, whoever did this did not just do this for the intended purpose of making a name for himself, bringing about some sort of fame and glory. I was the man who shot Donald Trump. I will live down in history. No. It's more than that. We are seeing loud and clear a message from whoever perpetrated this that you better watch your back, that you better look out, because we know where you stand. And because of where you stand, there are plenty of things that we can do to you. That message was sent not just to us, it was sent directly to Donald Trump. And it was sent to his supporters. Tonight we didn't just see a president shot and almost killed, but we saw one of his supporters at his rally murdered in cold blood, and the rest of them shaken. Whoever did this was sending a message that we better watch our backs, that we better be silent, that we better stand down, or else these horrible things will happen to us. But our message is this. We have a message right back at them. We will not stand down. We will not back down. We will not give up. We will not stay silent. We will not stop speaking up. We will not stop fighting for this country. We will never surrender. We will continue to march down this path. We will continue to fight for the country that we love. And in November, we will take our fight to the ballot box. We will win, and we will make America great again. There is no question about that. We may be shaken, but we are not deterred. We will continue to stand. On no uncertain terms will we continue to stand, and we will continue to fight for this country. Not with blood, not with bullets, not the way that you want to fight. But we will continue to fight with our voices. We will continue to fight with our words. We will continue to exercise political influence, and we will elect Donald J. Trump back to the White House. And we will see him sworn in January of 2025. And we will that we will that we want. We will have the victory that we are looking for. I'm not sure what that noise was. I'm not sure if somebody's trying to call me. But I know this. No matter what, we're not strangers to this. This isn't the first time that this has happened. We're living in an age and an era where, because of our views and because of our politics, we've been slandered and lied about as racist, fascist, dangers to democracy. This isn't new. This isn't new. It's not new. This is not anything that is unexpected. And it's interesting that for 3 years, Democrats have said that the violent rhetoric, the quote violent rhetoric of Donald Trump led to the events on January 6th. Now, no matter what you believe about that, that's their claim. And they want accountability from Trump for his rhetoric. Well, what have we seen recently? We saw President Biden say that the bullseye is on Donald Trump. We've seen Democratic leaders say that he is a clear and present threat to our democracy and that he cannot be allowed to take back the White House. We have seen them call his supporters, you and me, all sorts of derogatory names. So where's the accountability for their incitement to violence? Where's the accountability for what they are pushing? Where's the accountability for that? I don't know. Do you? Is it going to come? I doubt it. Are we even going to know anything about this shooter? I doubt it. It's all going to get swept under the rug, just like it always does. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your comments. Make sure to comment down below. Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. That is so true. And we will resist. We will resist these threats, these slanders, these lies, these intimidation tactics, all of this. We will resist it. No matter what. I want to pray. I want you to continue to pray for President Trump. I want you to pray for the family of his supporter who got murdered in cold blood today. And pray for all of the people that were at the rally. Especially pray. I have a friend, actually. I did not know this until a short time before I started this stream. But I had a friend who was at the rally. Her name is Shannon. She goes to Liberty. Pray for her, specifically because she was sharing how she was feeling with me after all of this took place. Please pray for her. But pray for everybody that was at this rally, and pray for the country tonight. Because we face an unprecedented time in our country. You know, you've heard a lot over the last few months about a crossing of the Rubicon. Well, if it wasn't already crossed, it was crossed tonight. And it is only by the sovereignty and the grace of God that it was not much worse. If President Trump would not have turned his head at the right time and that bullet struck his head, and he be lying dead tonight, I fear that the violence that we would have seen erupt in this country would have been unlike anything that we have seen, perhaps since the Civil War, perhaps even going back farther than that. It was truly a miracle in the grace of God tonight that this was not worse. And we saw Trump leading, defiant as ever, holding his fist up high, saying to his supporters, fight, fight, fight. Do not back down. Do not surrender. Continue to fight. And like I've said, our fight is not with weapons and bullets. Our fight is through our political activism, through our words, through our actions, and through the ballot box ultimately in November. We will win this fight. We will elect Donald Trump back to the White House. I know there are plenty of people, many of whom are friends, allies, co-belligerents in this battle, who have been concerned lately about the direction of the Republican Party, about Trump's rhetoric on abortion, on important social issues, and I share those concerns. But tonight we need to realize that while those concerns are legitimate, there are more important things at stake for this country. I care deeply about the issue of abortion. I want to see it abolished in this country. But if we don't elect Donald Trump to the presidency, what we saw tonight is going to become way more normal. I fear Republicans may never get a chance to hold power again. And as much as you and I may disdain the Republican Party for continuing to shift left and leave its supporters and its grassroots behind, right now they are the only chance that we have of ever gaining any sort of electoral power in this country. We're not going to get a third party anytime soon that's going to stand up and speak for our concerns and have major influence. We need to realize that this might be our final shot, and we need to elect President Trump in November. I've been a proud supporter of him since 2015. I haven't always agreed with everything that he said, but I have been a proud supporter since the day that he walked down that golden escalator. I watched that happen live on television. Didn't know anything about him beforehand, didn't know much about him, didn't know much about politics at the time. But I watched him walk down the golden escalator. I watched him promise to make America great again, and I felt an inspiration come over me that I'm sure many of you have felt as well. I've supported him since day one, and I'm not going to back down now. We will never surrender. We will never back down. We stand with President Trump, and we will continue to do so. This is our moment. This is our time. We cannot allow the left to get away with the damage that they have done to our country over the past 4 years. We cannot allow this to continue any longer. Accountability needs to come, and that can only come through Trump. Retribution through success needs to come, and that can only come through Trump. If we abandon him now, and if we throw away our support for him, we could be finished. We could be finished. And it could be that in God's sovereign plan, America might be over. But whether that's true or not, God demands of us, and God expects us to steward well the blessings that he has given us, including the blessing and privilege to live in this amazing country. Most of you watching, I'd be willing to wager almost all of you watching, were probably born here, born as citizens, born as people who get the privilege to call themselves a citizen of the United States. My citizenship came through adoption. I was not born here. I was born in another country. I was born in Russia. I was born in a faraway land. And it's only through the grace of God, his sovereign plan, and an American couple who was willing to take the risk and come and adopt me that I'm even here, that I'm even speaking to you now. And it weighs heavy on my heart because I know that I had health issues and health problems and a multitude of things that if I had not had the opportunity to come to this country, I know for a fact it's more than likely I would not be alive speaking to you right now. I love this country, and I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to sit back and allow it to just be thrown away. If America falls, I'm going to be able to stand at the end of the day and say that I did everything I could in my power to prevent it. I'm not going to let this country fall. I'm not just going to sit back and wait for Christ to come back or some miraculous event to happen. I'm going to get up, I'm going to work, and I'm going to fight to make sure that this country survives for my children and my grandchildren. Work like it's up to you and pray like it's up to God, because it is up to God. But he uses us to do his sovereign work in this land. He doesn't need to, but he chooses to. We cannot allow for one moment any sort of compromise, any sort of standing back and sitting on our hands. We have to get up and stand and say, this is where we draw the line. And Trump is not a perfect person. He's not the perfect candidate. He's not the perfect politician. He's not any of that. But he is the person that we need to get behind, especially now, and say, we are going to go forward and we are going to make this country great again. He is our foundation. He is our launching point. And maybe, it's possible that he's not going to be as right-wing as we want him to be. But we're never going to get somebody more right-wing in there if we allow the Democrats to win this election and this country to fall. There are 98 people watching this stream right now. Thank you to all of you. It's hard for me to believe, even as long as I've been doing this, but there are 98 people even willing to listen to the sound of my voice for as long as I've been on this stream. Thank you all for being here. This is now 100 people that can go out tomorrow and start knocking doors, tomorrow's the Lord's Day, tomorrow's Sunday, take time with your family, go to church, do all that, but on Monday, go out, knock doors, register voters, chase ballots. I spent 4 hours today going out and knocking doors in my community and telling people that they need to vote for President Trump this November. 4 hours. You can spare an hour. You can probably spare an hour of your day to go do that. You can spend an hour of your day. You can spare an hour of your day to go out and advocate for taking this country back and making it great again. You can do that. We all can do that. We have time. We allow these little devices, I can't show you my phone because I'm using it to stream right now, but we allow these little devices, like the phone that is streaming to you now, to distract us, to make us pessimistic, to make us think that the future is set in stone and we have no way of changing it. But I'm here to tell you today that you can make the time to make the changes necessary to make this country a glorious, amazing, wonderful place to raise your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and all throughout the generations. We can do it. It's been done before. It can be done again. We have the ability to make a change in this country. And right now, our change agent is going to be Donald Trump. Whether you agree with his policies or not, whether you agree with certain positions of his or not, he is the only shot that we have right now. And we need to coalesce, unite, stand behind him. And I'm sure after tonight, the Republican Party is going to be more united than it has ever been. I made the statement and I made the prediction tonight that Donald Trump won the election at that rally when that happened. When he got shot, thankfully only in the ear, and he stood up and he stood proud and he showed the world that he is not going to back down, and neither are we. We will not back down. We will not stay silent. We will never surrender. This is our moment. This is our chance. This is where we make our stand. You know, only 3%, it's estimated, only 3% of colonists fought for the revolution. They fought for America to be created. They fought for this nation in the 1770s and 1780s. A third of the colonists supported their cause. A third were unsure, and a third supported the British. Only 33% of Americans at that time supported the cause of revolution, and of that 33%, only 1% of that went out and did something about it. We've got 111 people right here, 112 counting me, who can go out and stand up and make a difference. Elijah was concerned, he was discontented, he thought that the prophets of Baal had won the day. And God reminded him that he had set aside a few thousand people, a remnant in Israel, who were still faithful to him, who would stand up and fight for their nation. God has set aside a remnant in this country. You and me are part of it. And now more than ever, we need to stand up and make our voices heard and make our voices known. This is our shot. This is our stand. Do not waste a moment. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for listening to me. What time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. I'm sure many of you are getting ready for church tomorrow. But let this be a moment and let this be a lesson to you that this is the time that we need to stand up. Now more than ever. We will not stay silent. We will not back down. We will never give up. We will never surrender. We will make America great again. We will unite and save this country. We will do the work that is necessary. And we will rely on God every step of the way. Thank you all for being here. As always, God loves you and so do I. Have a good night.